Grand Rising, Grand Day, Grand Evening. Uh, I'm so tired, but I want to get this video done. I'm on a deadline for court tomorrow, and I need to get that finished. So I have for the last few days been asking what I deem to be reasonably educated people, and I say reasonably because they're educated by the school system and has some street smart. So I was asking them, what's a better way for me to explain to the people in the state of Maryland that they are agreeing to the foreclosure process, they are agreeing to the eviction process. Um, how do I make it simple? And I give them the same. Uh, I give them the same analogy, I guess, that I give y'all, and their response is that's the way to explain it. My sister said maybe I should try to read the law to y'all, but I'm not a good reader, so I wouldn't like. Let me see. I wouldn't be comfortable doing that nut ass shit. Mm, Let me pull it up. Give me a second. My phone dead. While I'm waiting for this to load, if anybody's on here, what's up? I would really like for y'all to chime in actually. Oh, you only on 1%. Don't die on me. Wait a minute. Oh. If y'all just logging in, I'm trying to pull up this uh law for the state of Maryland. Give me a second. So basically, I had a client who was being evicted in the state of Maryland. And so me and my husband was on doing a class with her, and hold on. So we was looking up exceptions to jurisdictions because there's a lot of ways to get out of being evicted and stuff, and one of them is jurisdiction. So we was looking up jurisdiction in the state of Maryland, and when we looked it up, we found, my goodness, it was outrageous. It was a whole um. Let me read it to you. I'm sorry, my signal is low. Let me try to do it from my other phone. Oh, geez. I just opened up my files and there's a million documents in here. Okay, let's try that a different way. Hold on one second. All right. Oh, this might not be it. Courts and jurisdictional proceedings, except as provided in SS 4-401 and 4-404 of the subtitle. The district court does not have equity jurisdiction, except as provided in SS 4-401 of the subtitle. The district court does not have jurisdiction to decide the ownership of real property or of an interest in real property. The district court does not have jurisdiction to render a declaratory judgment, except in a case under paragraph 2, comma 4, comma 5, comma or 6 of SS 4-401 and this subtitle. And this is where y'all get lost. All these subtitles, S's, commas, and dashes, that should be confusing you. But you just gotta stay focused. Of this subtitle, the plaintiff may elect to file suit in the district court or in the trial court. Hold on. The plaintiff may elect to file suit in the district court or in a trial court of general jurisdiction if the amount of the controversy exceeds $5,000 exclusive of pre-judgment or post-judgment interest. Oh, I see what they say. Cost of the attorney fees, and attorney fees are recoverable by law. So basically, what this is saying is if you under a certain class bracket, they can still fucking sue you. So if you go to read that subsection they were talking about, it states that if a renter rent is under $30,000, then they can be sued in eviction court. But if they're renting and their rent is over 30,000 a year, meaning 30,000 and up, then this original law applies to them. That's how dirty they are. And the reason why this law is set up like this is because the original colonizers that came over here remember this code and they practice this code. So they won't allow this code to get off the dock. But they also do not want the people of lesser value in their eyes to have those same benefits. So let's go back to the top of this again. Remember, this is called exceptions to jurisdiction in district court in Maryland, except as provided in SS 4-401 and 4-404 of this subtitle. The district court does not have equity jurisdiction. Look that shit up. Equity jurisdiction. Jurisdiction. All right. Except as provided in SS 4-401 of the subtitle, the district court does not have jurisdiction to decide the ownership of real property or of an interest in real property. The district court does not have jurisdiction to render a declaratory judgment. Okay? Remember what I said. Go to DuckDuckGo or whichever search engine you use. Hold on. Maryland Code Courts and Judicial Proceedings. 4-402 exceptions. That's what I'm reading, okay? Exceptions to jurisdiction in the state of Maryland. So it tells you right there that the district court it does not have jurisdiction in equity. It does not have equity jurisdiction. Equity is not just for real estate. Think about everything equity stands for. See, when I get off of here, I'm going to go and dig deeper into that. District court does not have equity jurisdiction, except as provided in, we already said all of that. The district court does not have jurisdiction to decide the ownership of real property or of an interest in real property. Listen, if they can't judge the so-called mortgage holder, the banker, saying that they have ownership over the property because the so-called mortgager or the tenant didn't pay, they can't take it to the judge. The district court does not have jurisdiction to decide ownership of real property. So when they go to the court and say this person is on my property or this person is in my property as a tenant no longer paying, I want to get them out. How can you prove it's your property if the court don't have jurisdiction to decide it? You are agreeing to go to foreclosure court, or I don't know how, it can't be a court in here. They have to do it a different way. So the way that they're doing it is using I think they call them a mortgage trustee. So everything is just done behind the scene. You get paperwork and they tell you your shit been foreclosed on. So if they go to the sheriff to have them execute this, the sheriff is a private corporation. And they were hired by a private corporation to conduct business. So in business, tell me if in business you got Mercy Hospital and then you got Memorial Hospital. Two businesses that work across the street from each other. They have a disagreement on the bids that they switched in a barter system for the hospital. So Mercy Hospital employees go and take everything out of Memorial Hospital and put it outside and lock the doors. Is that legal? Would that have standing in anywhere? Would that be acceptable? Once y'all understand that the only authority that can enforce the sheriff to come do anything for you is the court. So if the court is signing a certification paperwork giving the sheriff permission to put you out, the court is committing a fraud. That's racketeering. How can you give a certification stamp to have these people put out of their homes if right here it says your district court does not have equity jurisdiction? Your district court does not have jurisdiction over real estate. I don't know. This shit is really clear to me. I don't know how else I could say this. If y'all could just tell me where I'm going wrong, that y'all not understanding the fact that this is corp to corp, and you yourself are a corporation. You yourself are a bank. So basically, this is a gentleman's deal, and y'all handle this how y'all handle it. The courts have no authority in the state of Maryland to do so. So why would you concede and give over your mortgage? I meant your property, whether you're a tenant or a owner. So the way to deal with this is to file these papers before they even try to go into the eviction status, to put the court system on notice that you're being harassed and extorted from. It's the proper way to word all of this. It's a proper way to block this mortgage company that bought your mortgage from another mortgage company, meaning you yourself do not have an active and valid two-party wet signature contract, which is the only standing contract that will stand up in court. Two-party wet signatures. I don't know. If y'all got any suggestions on how I could say this differently, let me know, because I'm getting exhausted saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, I don't know how to break this shit down no other way. And then I was talking to my sister boyfriend, and I was trying to explain to him about the signature being your money, and he had some really valid points and arguments that he had. Sorry, my titty hit the phone. Okay, it's still on. He has some really good arguments about why people won't execute this. And I was listening to him, and I was like, those are really good points. First of all, I can talk all the shit I want to talk, right? But the fact of the matter is, when you have people that's counting on you to provide for them, to nurture them, you got to make sure you have the things that they need, like a roof over their head and food in their mouth. So I'm not oblivious to that. And again, I've raised all of my kids. Every child I have is grown and on their own, doing their own thing. So I can't say what I would have done during the time that I was raising my children. I only can tell you what I'm willing to do right now. So I do understand that you don't want to jeopardize nothing if you got kids. And what he was saying was, if somebody, since I make staffs, and my staffs are very, very powerful, so powerful that I only make a few a year now. I don't want too many out there. Um, he said, now the detail that you put in making that staff is the same detail a true architect takes in building and creating this house. Shouldn't this person be paid for it? And I kept saying to him, but you're saying if you don't pay a monthly fee, that you're not paying for the property in which you're residing in. The one thing that he just could not grasp is that his name, his signature is his payment. His social security is his payment. When I tried to explain to him how the banks, and I mean, I know this shit is difficult. I ain't no fool. But when I tried to explain to him how they go to the help desk at the Federal Reserve, to get these credits and stuff, he just it just wasn't clicking. It is almost impossible to retrain your brain. That's why they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Until you fully understand that all of our ancestors, and I'm not talking of race people, I'm talking about every people who reside in this country, whose families have resided in this country for the last 2 centuries, all of their debts were paid for. All of their debts were covered by their grands. Their grandparents gave their children and grandchildren and great grandchildren a trust fund, a never ending glass full all the way up trust fund. And the way that their grandkids get that access to the trust fund is to sign the paperwork for the trustee to then go and get it and give it to the beneficiary. This is all commercial and it's all business. Y'all have to understand that policies and statutes, they are not laws. They're not a part of the code. And I told him, I said, let's pull out the money you got in your pocket right now. And we pulled the money out. I said, would it stay right there on the top? He said, it's a promissory note. I had a flyer on the counter and I said, what's this piece of paper? He said, it's a note. I said, these two pieces of paper have the same exact value. One is promising to give you information, and one is promising to give you funds. He understood that, but didn't. I don't know. I have no idea how to give you a visual or a conversation about it. You just simply got to remember, if reading this information from the actual .gov websites and the the court websites and Cornell Law, Webster's diction, not Webster's, I'm sorry, Black Laws Dictionary to understand the words that you're reading. The only way I could tell you to understand this is to remember. And if you can't remember on your own through meditation and focus, then you try some kind of psychedelic. Psychedelics are the fastest, easiest way to recall your Akashic records. Your Akashic records have every second of every life that you've ever had. You can pull whatever memories from the past you want if you choose to. There is what they say is multiple ways to skin a cat. Multiple ways to skin a cat. It's multiple ways to live the life you want to live. It's multiple ways. Everybody don't want the same thing. But the one thing I do know that we all want is freedom. Freedom to be good mothers to our daughters, good fathers to our sons, good brothers and sisters to our cousins and brothers and sisters. We want to be good neighbors and we want to live in peace. That is what I know for sure. And my only way of understanding how to get to that level of peace is to have a shelter over your head and your children's head, and a shelter that you know for a fact nobody can take from you. So no matter how long it takes for you to address your estate, whether you can accomplish that shit in a year or it take you 11 years, but no matter what, your roof shall remain covering you. And so that is what I choose to focus my attention on. Real estate. Real estate. The truest superpower on the planet. Everything in power is about real estate. Land. This land got oil. This land got crystals. This land got aluminum. This land got water. Land. Real estate. This crooked president has allowed every enemy we have to just walk over here. He has made dirty deals with other countries, giving our land away for debts that they ran up. You have Chinese people owning states. You have that reptile, Bill Gates. May he rest in peace. Hashem. Buying up all the farmland. We do nothing about it. Look at the real estate with all the children in it now that they're giving the children hormones to change their sex while they're in baby school. Real estate. Politicians is fighting for what? Real estate. The White House is real estate. The Pentagon is real estate. For the people of Maryland, you are in a very unique position. Very unique position. Rebel. 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 Ashe. 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 All you gotta do is file papers. When you start acting like an adult, addressing your estate, people will start respecting you. And nobody will tell you, pull over and step out the car, sir. Or turn around and put your hands behind your back, ma'am. Or see, I don't want to do that because they'll say I'll be trying to lead y'all down to damnation. But when you know who the fuck you are and you start addressing your affairs, you can walk up to the motherfuckers that tell you they can lock you up and tell them to try it. And as they look stupid getting back into their cars, you walk away. It's time for you to start putting fear in their heart. Stop living in this fear state, this PTSD state of, damn, can I keep this fucking rent paid? Can I keep this mortgage paid? I'm working 2 jobs, I'm working 3 jobs, and I don't have enough money for food. When you already paid the fucking bill. I'm not interested in anybody taking my class, my consultation, anything from me if you don't have the mind of a warrior. Because this is war. This ain't for the weak at heart. This ain't for the followers and the runners. This is for somebody that can stand the fuck firm and hold the fucking line. And if one of us fall, 10 of us come running. That's the type of people that I want to take my class, that I want to contact me. I don't want no scared bitches calling me. I don't want no men with no S's in their mouth calling me. When I say rebel, I mean bring hell. And this is going to be our peaceful way of fighting our war. We're going to peacefully take this real estate back. And this shit ain't about race. I want all of us taking this real estate back from our enemies, foreign and domestic. Read these codes, read the laws of your state, find the crime, make their life a living hell, and they'll run from fucking court. Rebel, rebel.